Looks a little good. Okay, excellent. Hey everyone, I'm just going to talk to you again about another knife, one of my favorites. It's a little bit different than some of the other ones I talked about in the past. I really like it though. I carry this knife a lot. I carried it through Europe for about a month because of its blade size and just all around great utility knife, okay? The Spyderco Shaman. So you can find this knife online for about $200. If you can get it for a little bit cheaper than that, I think it's an excellent buy. It's a great utility knife. It can do pretty much everything. It's great for EDC and for defensive carry as well. One of my favorite things about this knife is that it's a little bit thicker. It's a little bit sturdier. You can feel there's no wiggle room in here. The bearing and pivot joint is super strong, super tight. It has a compression lock here on the back for that added sense of security. There's a lot of great YouTube videos out there that demonstrate why a compression lock is superior to the normal liner lock. Essentially, it's just a reverse liner lock where when the blade pivots, it pivots the liner up against this little metal post you can see in there. So that way, it just tightens it up against that little post in there. Whereas your normal liner lock, it just pivots up against the liner itself and it can't slip. But mainly I like this compression lock. I like compression locks because it's easy to close the knife. You just simply press in on the liner here, boop, and then you can swing the blade down like so and it closes. So that's why I like it, because usually liner locks in the front here and you usually have the two hands or have your fingers in front of the blade when you close it. That's not the case for knives with the liner lock. Okay, with this you also have the S30V steel that Spyderco is pretty much synonymous for. Great rust resistance, fantastic strength, and holds an edge extremely well. What can I say? This model here has the stone wash finish, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about too much about fingerprints or that shininess that some finishes have. Makes the knife a little more tactical, a little bit more, in my mind, better suited for getting dirty and doing hard jobs. You don't have to worry about too many scratches here on the finish as well either, which is really nice. The blade itself is over from here to here. It's a little bit over 3.5 inches long. The cutting edge though is about 3 inches. So with that, you're going to be within the legal realms most anywhere you go, but again, you want to check with your local laws before you carry this, because you don't want to get in trouble anywhere. This is not automatic. However, Spyderco again is pretty synonymous for having a little spidey hole here where you can do the spider flick. You can do the little flick and get it open pretty easily. There was a break-in period for this knife. I mean, I'm usually pretty good at the flick. But when I first got it, it was a little stiff here. I had to kind of work it out, and I would just be driving in my car, flicking it constantly, flicking it, and I loosened up a pretty good amount. So now it's pretty easy to flick. Obviously, spider flick or thumb flick. This is a nice hole here too, so your fingernail fits in there pretty well. When you do the flick, it makes it pretty easy. Great little hole here. You can put a lanyard in it if you want. The pocket clip unfortunately is not deep carry. However, it is a very sturdy clip. I believe you can upgrade. I think I've seen some people upgrade online to deep carry pocket clips. But what's nice about this in most Spyderco models, as I've mentioned in other videos, is you can take that pocket clip and you can essentially rotate it to almost anywhere on the knife to suit your carrying desires, I suppose. Going back to the pivot, the joint, and the strength right here, this is a heavier, thicker blade. It's probably one of the thickest folding knives I have. And I've used it pretty much as an apartment key. My apartment complex had this old wooden door where no one's keys fit in, and I talked to several residents there, and it was a real pain. But I used to use this knife, stick it in between the door and the door frame, and sort of pop the door open, and I'd get in. But now, unfortunately, I can't do that anymore because there's a metal plate over the door and the frame to prevent people from doing that. I might have been spotted doing that a couple times, and that's why they added that there. But I would use this knife for that, and I had no qualms about the strength of the blade and the joint, and putting a couple pounds of pressure and popping that door open. I've used this knife for most EDC tasks, cutting food, packages, things of that nature. I've also used it to shave some wood and get a little bit of kindling, and the blade is still incredibly sharp. Let me see if I can show you here on a piece of paper. And I've had this knife for like 3 or 4 months, EDC it. I mean, I have a bunch of knives, but I definitely wrote this one out, and this was my sole EDC when I was in Europe for about 3 months, or 3 weeks, excuse me. Look at that. And you can still see how sharp this is. Seen a lot of people online sort of, excuse me, let me get to that part again. The handle is not G10 scales, but it is made from G10 material, and it's pretty smooth when you initially get it. And I've seen a lot of people complaining online and other message boards about it being not grippy enough or this or that. Granted, okay, it isn't very grippy, but what I've noticed is that when your hands are a little wet or a little sweaty, it's like this turns into like a stickiness almost. It sticks to your hand very well when your hand has a little bit of moisture on it, which I think most of our hands usually do, with just our natural body oils and whatnot. But it fits in there really nice. The handle length is ideal. I don't have large hands by any means, but you can see that it fits in there really well. And then you have some of this jimping on the back here, which is super nice. Like what I was saying, for just shaving off the piece of wood. And then I like this little finger indent right here as well that has some jimping on it. You choke up real nice on the blade there and get that added control. But if you don't want to grip up close like that and utilize the jimping, you can grip down even lower on the handle itself. It's kind of nice too that you can grab it in reverse grip and it feels super comfortable if you like the defensive, hold your knife in this defensive grip. Never had any rust issues. I'm a little bit partial towards Spydercos. I have several Spydercos just because their warranty is fantastic. Actually, my father, he served active duty in the military, and he broke the tip off of one of his Spyderco knives, and their warranty is so great that they sent him a brand new knife when he contacted them to his APO address overseas. So, I mean, some of the best warranties in the market for Spyderco here. This model is made in Golden, Colorado. I know other models are made in Taiwan and in Japan. I have several models each made from those different areas, and the quality is always fantastic. So it fits really nice in your pocket. It's not super wide. It is a little heavy though, but like I said, it's your heavy duty work knife, and it is small enough for EDC, and can execute 99% of your EDC tasks, I'd say. So if you're looking for a little heavy duty work knife folder, I think this is a great go-to for you. If you want something heavier duty than this, I would just honestly go with the fixed blade full tang. But if you still want a folder to do a lot of hard work with, I'd say this is your knife right here. Okay, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you'd like to add or for me to cover, leave a message below, and I'll get around to it as soon as I can. So, thanks for watching. Have a great day.